world is one.
Ron Aledo is a former U.S. military officer, former CIA contractor, and former intelligence and operations officer. He's now joining us live from Miami. Mr. Aledo, thank you very much for your time and welcome. There have been varied reactions ever since the announcement of President Joe Biden of allowing Kiev to use long-range missiles supplied by Washington to strike targets inside Russia. The Kremlin has reacted. It has accused Biden of escalating the war in Ukraine. What do you make of Biden's move, and should Ukraine be armed?
Well, Ukraine have been armed. Obviously, we have sent more than $200 billion to Ukraine in weapons and all kinds of economic aid, the United States and Europe. So they are fully armed. The issue is this new permission that Biden is giving to use the long-range missiles, the attack come to attack Russia targets inside, very deep inside Russia. That is the new issue, and it looks to me like Biden is trying to poison in some ways on how Trump incoming administration in January, when it comes in January 2025, and it's perhaps an act of propaganda and an act of desperation from Biden. They are trying to say, you see, we did everything we can. We gave them permission to attack Russia. And right now, we did everything possible. And he's trying to escalate the war. He's trying to provoke a response from Putin, from Russia, before Trump comes into government in January. Mm-hmm. So it looks to me kind of an act of desperation. The hope is that Putin don't fall for this provocation and do not use small tactical nuclear weapons in the front. That is the only hope that we can have right now.
Mr. Ron, you sound like some other critics who are saying that Mr. Biden threw a spanner in the works ahead of Trump getting into office because he wants to make it hard for Trump to end the war. Do you believe that is what is happening?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it was wrong for the United States to give this permission to Ukraine a few weeks ago when Ukraine was here in the United States asking for this permission. But now that Trump won the elections, that Kamala Harris will not become the new president, now it's okay. Immediately Biden changed his mind. So obviously the election is everything, it's all related to the election. Mm-hmm. And he's trying to poison, he's trying to sabotage Trump peace effort that will begin in January. And again, this is an act of provocation, and the only hope we can have is for Putin not to fall into it, not to fall into this provocation, and not to use small tactical nuclear weapons in Ukraine against the Ukrainian army. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that that is the most important message right now. Mm-hmm. Mr. Putin, do not fall into this provocation. Just wait and hold until Trump takes office in January, and he will for sure reverse this order that Biden is giving.
Mr. Ron, finally, if at all Ukraine decides to use this ATACMS missiles, what would be the impact of that in the ongoing war or in the current war?
Well, you will not see it immediately on the battlefront because these missiles are not going to be used, perhaps with the exception of Kursk region against the North Korean troops that are over there inside Russia. These missiles are not going to be used that much into the actual line of contact, into the battlefront. But these missiles are going to be used there, in the rear, in the logistic points, in the command centers, in the fuel centers, in the logistical support structure of Russia. So it might have an effect that you will see later on, that you will see weeks or perhaps months later on when a depleted quantity of logistics on the Russian military, they might try to destroy some planes, they might try to destroy some missile storage, some fuel storage. So it will not be immediate. It will take weeks, perhaps a couple months before you can see an effect on the battlefront. Mm-hmm. But if they are successful and if they destroy fuel points, command centers, logistic points, you certainly will see an effect on the battlefront in a few weeks or months. You will see a decreased capability of the Russian in the battlefront in the line of contact. And that is the danger, that then Putin will fall into this provocation, as he said that he will, and use small tactical nuclear weapons against the Ukrainian army in Ukraine. Will be a tremendous escalation. That is the fear, and that's what we are trying to prevent, what we are hoping that Mr. Trump will prevent.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. I've been talking to a former U.S. military officer, former CIA contractor, and former intelligence and operations officer. His name is Ron Aledo. Mr. Ron, thank you for talking to us today.
Thank you.
For all the latest news, download the Wion app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.